Your AI coding agent just wrote you 200 lines of code. A senior developer would have written one. This repo has 18,000 stars for one job, forcing your AI to be the second person. It's called Ponytail and the pitch is brutal. The best code is the code you never wrote. So I installed it, I ran a real before and after test, and I'm going to show you exactly where it's magic and the two places it quietly breaks. Ponytail by a developer named Dietrich Gebert. One line in the README tells you everything. It makes your AI agent think like the laziest senior dev in the room. But read the fine print. Lazy means efficient, not careless. This is the engineer who has been paged at 3 a.m. for someone else's clever code and now reaches for the shortest thing that actually works. It's not a model. It's not an app. It's a set of rules you bolt onto an agent you already use. Here is the whole idea on one screen. They call it the ladder. Before your AI writes a single line, it has to climb down 6 rungs and stop at the first one that holds. 1. Does this even need to exist? Speculative feature, skip it. 2. Does the standard library already do it? Use it. 3. Is there a native platform feature, a date input, a CSS rule, a database constraint? Use that. 4. An already installed dependency? Use it. Never add a new one for what a few lines can do. 5. Can it be one line? Then it's one line. And only then. Rung 6. The minimum code that works. The whole thing is a reflex, not a research project. Installing it is 2 commands. Add the marketplace, install the plugin, and it's live. And it's not just Claude code. Ponytail ships for Codex, GitHub, Copilot, Gemini, OpenCode, plus rule files for Cursor, Windsurf, and Climb. Under the hood, it's a session hook. Every time your agent wakes up, the rules get injected, so it stays lazy on every single response, instead of drifting back to overbuilding by message 3. So I tested it. First task, sort these numbers. Without Ponytail, the agent hands you a hand-rolled quick sort. 13 lines, 3 arrays per recursion, and it will blow the stack on a big list. With Ponytail, 2 lines. It calls the sort that already ships with the language, written by people whose entire job is sorting. I ran both. Identical output. 84% less code. Zero behavior lost. That is the dream version. Second task. Validate an email. Without Ponytail, a class, a wrapper, a regex, 22 lines. With Ponytail, 3. 86% smaller. But here is where my test got interesting. I ran the lazy version against bad inputs, and it waved through at bad.com, an address the bloated regex correctly rejected. A bug? Not exactly. Ponytail's own docs say it out loud. Regex can't truly validate an email, only sending one can. The confirmation email is the validator. So the one-liner isn't sloppy. It's honest about a thing the 22-line version was only pretending to do. But, and this matters, you have to know that. Lazy code moves the responsibility somewhere else. It doesn't delete it. And you can dial the aggression. 4 modes. Lite just whispers the lazier option and lets you pick. Full, the default, enforces the ladder. Ultra is a Yagni extremist. It ships the one-liner and challenges whether you needed the rest of the request at all. Their own example. Ask for a cache. Full mode gives you one decorator. Ultra mode says no cache until a profiler proves you need one. And a hand-rolled cache class is, quote, a bug farm with a hit rate. That's the personality. Now, the part the thumbnail won't tell you. Ponytail is a steering prompt, and a prompt can only steer a model that already knows how to drive. The author benchmarked it on a small local model, Llama 3.2, and published the result honestly. The code reduction vanished into the noise. Across runs, it swung from 17% below the baseline to 50% above it. Their own words. There is no stable reduction to report. It works on Claude and the big models because those models already knew the lazy move. Ponytail just gave them permission. Bolt it onto a weak model and you get nothing. Catch number two, also straight from their own benchmarks. Yes, Ponytail writes roughly 2.5 times less code than its sibling skill. But on total tokens, the thing you actually pay for, it came out near parity. Why? Early versions wrote a one-line function and then a paragraph explaining everything they cleverly skipped. The pros ate the savings. They fixed it by capping the explanation. If the explanation is longer than the code, delete the explanation. And that README headline, up to 77% cheaper, that's against a no skill baseline that writes a 190-line dashboard for a countdown timer. Real, but it's the best case, not the average. Here is what actually sold me, and it's the opposite of the hook. Ponytail has a hard list of things it will never simplify away. Input validation at a trust boundary, error handling that prevents data loss, security, accessibility, and my favorite line, hardware is never ideal on paper. A real clock drifts, a real sensor reads off. So leave the calibration knob, not just less code. When it does take a shortcut, it leaves a comment that names the ceiling and the upgrade path. That's the difference between a senior dev and a junior who just deletes things. The senior knows which corners are load bearing. So, the honest verdict, Ponytail is not a magic button that makes a dumb model smart. It's a taste filter for a model that already has taste. A reflex you install so your agent stops gold plating everything by default. If you're on Claude or GPT and you're tired of deleting AI bloat by hand, it's a genuinely great free install. If you expected a cheaper bill on every task, read the fine print. The best code really is the code you never wrote. Ponytail just makes sure your AI remembers that on message 30, not just message 1. I packed the whole thing into a free one-page cheat sheet. The 6 rung ladder, the never be lazy guardrails, and 10 copy paste before and after one-liners. Comment the keyword lazy and I'll send it over, or grab it at the link below. If this saved you a bloated afternoon, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook and Instagram. I test these tools so you don't have to. And if you want to go deeper, my paid guides are linked down below. The best code is the code you never wrote. Go delete something.